East London, a melting pot of cultures, communities and faiths. Since the 2012 Olympics, there has been significant development, with many businesses and families moving into the area. However, despite the economic investment, there remain many deprived areas, and the need for good education has increased significantly. The Department for Education estimates that 900 or more secondary school places will be required by September 2024 in 3 of the major boroughs in East London: Newham, Waltham Forest and Redbridge. By 2022, secondary schools rated good or outstanding will be oversubscribed, and there is already a shortfall of 50 secondary school places for the next academic year. There is also a lack of choice for parents and children seeking Christian education. For the 900 or so pupils at Christian primary schools leaving Key Stage 2 this year, 85% of them will be unable to continue their Christian education at secondary level. East Park School is a new Christian secondary school for East London, set up under the umbrella of the nationally reputed Fulham Boys School Trust. It is a school built on the Christian faith, open to pupils of all faiths and none, nurturing enterprise and bringing out excellence in all pupils, irrespective of background. It is a school which will serve the local community, providing an outstanding education where each pupil is supported to achieve success inside and outside of the classroom, aspiring to become one of the best schools in this country, state or private, in 10 years. East London benefits from excellent transport links through the trains, buses, tubes and DLR, meaning wherever the school is located, it will be highly accessible. And the abundance of parks and green spaces offers education and sporting opportunities to pupils of East Park School.
Hello, my name is Alun Ebenezer, and I was the founding headmaster of the Fulham Boys School in West London, and my job has recently changed, so I'm now the executive headmaster. And the reason my job has changed is because we're in the process of setting up more schools like the Fulham Boys School. Some will be girls' schools, some will be mixed schools for boys and girls, some will be secondary, others will be primary, some will be all through schools, so you start at 3 years of age, you go all the way through to your 18. Some will be privately funded, others will be state funded, all different types of schools. And we are working with a group, hopefully, to set up a school in East End called East Park, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. And the school in East Park will be a school for boys and girls, and so we're very excited about working with a local group on this possibility of setting this school up. But whilst all our schools in many ways will be different, in some ways they will be the same. It will be the same ethos and the same vision running through all our schools, and it'll be schools built upon the Christian faith. So all our pupils will know what the Bible has to say about different subjects, different issues. They'll know about the claims of Jesus Christ and the beliefs of Christianity. But they won't be indoctrinated or brainwashed. They'll be encouraged to think about these things, question them, discuss, debate, even disagree. We're not just a school for Christians. So like Fulham, we've got young people of no faith, of other faiths, of the Christian faith, and all are equally welcome and loved and respected. And we have Christian unions. We have 9 Christian unions every week, and in these Christian unions, young people from all different faiths come, and of no faith, and they discuss and debate, and sometimes they get heated, but at the end, they shake hands, they go and play football, or they go and have some lunch together. They're the best of friends, and that's what we're trying to do in all our schools. Whilst we want to encourage our young people to think about these things, we want them to love each other, not just tolerate. That's an awful word, isn't it? Tolerate. We want them to love each other and learn to have strong opinions, but do it kindly and with respect. So that will run through all our schools. So whilst they'll be different, boys' schools, girls' schools, mixed schools, secondary, primary, this vision and ethos will run through all our schools. We've also got a commitment to high standards of uniform and appearance, of behaviour, of attendance. We think manners are important. We place a huge emphasis unapologetically standards, standards, standards. Strict discipline in firm boundaries. Again, that will run through all our schools. And I would say as well, we've got a huge emphasis on enterprise. What I mean by that is this kind of can-do attitude. So we've gone through and are going through, aren't we, an awful time in the country with this terrible pandemic. But the one thing we know is this, that if you're going to succeed and you're going to navigate your way through all this, you have to have a can-do attitude. And so we try and instill this attitude in all our young people. They've got this can-do. I'm not going to lie down. I'm not going to give in. I'm going to stick at that problem till I solve it. Enterprising. We want them to be successful. We want them to do well for themselves, but then we want them to share that with others. So they've got a responsibility to their local neighbourhoods, their local communities. They help people. They give back. So East Park, it's not going to be that pesky school, but it's going to be a school at the heart of the community. So like in our school in Fulham, young people doing shopping for people who can't get out, singing Christmas carols outside tube stations to raise the mood and lift the spirits. We want young people to go to nursing homes and help out and in any way they can to be a force for good in their communities and not selfish, but because they've received so much, they then give back. The one thing that I think is a real strength of our school, and we want it to be a strength in East Park as well, is that we draw from all different types of pupils, different cultures, different ethnicities. 30% of our young people come from private school backgrounds. 40% live in social deprivation. But they all come, they've all got access to the same education, the same opportunities, they've all got to meet the same high standards, because those things don't matter today. Groups don't matter. What matters is your attitude and your approach, and that you really sort of think, I'm going to grasp this opportunity with both hands. Listen, I hope I can get to meet you soon in person when all this is past, and you can find out more about what we're trying to do in East Park. But in the meantime, engage with the local group, ask questions, and follow all that they're putting out, because we are genuinely excited about this school to give real choice to local people.
My name is Sam Brown. I'm the chaplain at the Fulham Boys School. Here are 4 ways in which the Christian ethos plays out in the life of the school. The first is Christian values. We have 1 Christian value per half term, and when we are doing that, we are encouraging students and staff to demonstrate those Christian values and growing them. So for example, loving truth is one of them, and we want to be more honest, and we also want to be more inquisitive and to ask big questions about the big questions of life and work out what the answers are, what the truth is. But we also want to look at the example of Jesus Christ. So when we talk about serving others, we are looking at the example of Jesus dying on the cross for his enemies. Something that is really central to us as a school is our assemblies. Every student will have an assembly with me once a week in their house, and that will be led by me or by another member of staff or by a local church leader or youth worker. And sometimes we talk about Christian value of the half term. Sometimes we talk about a famous Christian who's had an impact, someone like Johannes Kepler, the scientist, or C.S. Lewis, the author, or Corrie ten Boom, or a famous sports person. But often what we do is we just go through a series through a book of the Bible. So we went through Mark's Gospel over 2 terms. We've been through Exodus, we've just gone through Genesis chapter 1 to 12, through the parables of Jesus. So just week after week after week, the narrative we find is really helpful. Another thing we do is CUs. We have lunchtime Christian unions for every year group, and that means that students can come along, look at a little bit of the Bible, and also ask questions. And if they really want to ask big questions and really grill us and really debate, then we also have a big questions CU. And we also have a prayer CU just devoted to praying, and it's great to see boys at those. It's great to see students, some students that you wouldn't expect, who just come along because they know that the CUs are always available at lunchtimes for them. And the final thing we do is we have the Christian ethos impacting our lessons and impacting our programs of study, and that doesn't mean every lesson. For some subjects it might only be once per term, but we are still making links between the Christian faith and the subject. So in a subject like maths, the link about God designing things and God being God of order that is the kind of thing that they would think about maybe once a term or once a year. In a subject like English or drama or humanities or art, the links are far more organic, and they would be thinking about it far more wherever it is helpful and it's not crowbarred in. But we are trying to show the students that the Bible has something to say about every part of life. We do lots more things. There's lots more things we could do, but I hope that gives you a little bit of flavour of how the Christian ethos plays out in the life of the school.
Hi, I'm Abigail and this is David. We both live in Poplar and we have 3 young children currently in primary school. Our eldest is in year 5 and we're really excited about the idea of East Park School opening up.
I'm really excited about the idea of a school with high academic standards and encouraging children to achieve all they can. We're both Christian and we really welcome the school having a Christian ethos, both to encourage children to express themselves in all kinds of ways that they're able to, but also celebrating children no matter what they achieve, celebrating them for what they are.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, I'm a mum of 2 and I currently live in Redbridge. I am really excited about the idea of East Park School in East London. For there to be a secondary school in the local area that matches the beliefs taught at home and at church would be really fantastic. For there to be somewhere where there's really strong pastoral support, where each young person is really nurtured, cared for and loved. I would love to be a part of that.
My name is Michael Adesanya and I serve as the assistant pastor here at Grove Hill Evangelical Church. And I grew up in East London and also did a lot of my schooling here. And I believe there's a lot to be proud of about East London. When I was younger, growing up with my friends, we always thought it was like a badge of honour coming up in the school of the hard knocks. And there's a lot to be respected for about schooling in East London. And considering there being a Christian school in East London, that's something I'd really be encouraged to explore with my son, and something that I'd hope he'd be able to take part in, being in a school and education system that is able to agree with and balance and instill the same values that we're trying to give my son at home, and just have that harmony so there's not a dual nature between what he's learning at home and learning in school. I think that would be something that could grow and really be beneficial for myself and my family.
We're Jamie and Susie Child and we're involved in the leadership of Crossway Stratford, a church over here in East London, and we're particularly excited at the thought of a new secondary school for East London.
And as parents of 3 children who are starting to come up on secondary school age, it's particularly thrilling for us to think about. In East London, the population is always growing, so there's an obvious case for new secondary schools. And to have one that plans to prize excellence in education while caring for the whole person and being founded on Christian principles is really exciting.
Christians have always done a great job of providing education, and so to be working together with the team over from Fulham Boys School is particularly exciting for us. They've got a proven track record of success in that school in doing all the things we talked about: excellence, concern for the person based on a Christian foundation. And so there's a great team in place to make this school a real success that will benefit and bless East London.
If you want to see East Park School become a reality, register your support on our website